Awesome. All right, welcome to our Rainbow Council Jamboree session. Um, I want to thank everybody for making time tonight for coming in. If you see me flip around the screen is because I'm going to be letting people into the room because we are doing a waiting room to make sure that we keep the appropriate people in our session and meeting tonight. So I do ask everybody to go ahead and go on mute. And you can come off mute, ask a question, raise a hand, and so on throughout our session tonight. Some quick disclaimers. Um, I'm going to share everything that I know tonight. I will do my very best to answer any questions. If I don't have an answer for something, I promise to get back to you in some fashion or form. We are going to do our very, very best to have the best Jamboree contingent that we can. So with that is going to be sharing as much information as we can. For tonight, if something comes up and we have to stop the session or I have to pause it because I'm seeing somebody that's joined that probably shouldn't be here since we did publicize this on our public page, just bear with me. We're doing that just to make sure we keep all things good and informative. So who am I? My name is Earl Bonovich. Many of you have probably met me in one of my capacities in scouting, be it as a WIBAD person, be it as a leader of a troop. My current role is I am an assistant council commissioner. I also am the 2026 contingent lead for Rainbow Council. So I am acting basically as the committee chair for our Jamboree journey. I am also lucky enough to be part of the National Jamboree staff. I'm going to be out at Jamboree in a dual capacity, both as your contingent lead and as the coordinator for the Lost and Found of the Jamboree. I've been lucky enough to be able to attend two Jamborees. I attended in 2017 and I attended the last one in 2023. So I am somewhat familiar with the summits and where we're headed to. I've also been out there for a high adventure, so I can answer a good number of questions of what it's like at the summit, what is the summit, and kind of what to expect as well as we know it today. A lot of things are still not decided for the Jamboree. We do know a few things, but we don't know everything yet, and that makes sense since we're still about 18 months out. So on this call, I know we have at least one person has been to the Jamboree before. There's a few others that will come in throughout our conversations. So I'm also looking to set a date in the future where I'm going to have a youth dedicated session where I'm going to have some of the youth that have been to the Jamboree talk to all the other youth that are interested in going so they can have a youth to youth conversation and get us boring adults out of the way. So we're going to get that set up probably for early February. But we'll get that date out to everybody as well. So let's dive in a little bit. I am going to share a presentation that I've put together and we'll get rocking and rolling. So let me click around a little bit here and get that shared. Share. All right. This is what we want. I just saw someone join the room. 1 second. And all right. So as we going on, the theme for the 2026 Jamboree is Elevate. This was set by the National Jamboree, announced a couple months ago. And it is really a symbolic of what they're trying to do with this next Jamboree. They want to elevate scouting to a whole new level. They're taking the Jamboree to another level that it above and beyond what it was in 2023. Also helping scouts to reach new and exciting heights. One of the little symbols in here, the V of the Elevate, is also symbolic of a pretty amazing bridge that's on the property at the summit. It is a pretty awesome place to go visit at the summit, so it's a little bit symbolic of that as well. The dates. The dates for the actual Jamboree are July 22nd through the 31st of 2026. I know we just started 2025, but it does take a long time to plan this Jamboree, get our contingent together, and get everything rocking and rolling. So we do start quite a bit out. and it's about 18 months away. But believe it or not, as we get going, time is going to fly. It's going to get very quick, and it'll be here before we know it. Typically, as a little idea, we will leave either the day before on the 21st and come back on August 1st. An extra day on either side, just due to the travel. From our lovely RSR camp, it is just about a 10-hour drive to get to the summit if you were to drive it straight. We are currently estimated to take a bus. It's really not practical for us to fly to the summit. Once you are add in time for us to get to either Midway or O'Hare, fly, get to the nearby airport, then drive over to the summit, it really is actually longer and more costly. So we are expecting to either take a coach bus or a series of 15 passenger vans to get out there. So we will be adding a day to either end of that for our transportation and for a possible event that we will do in addition to the Jamboree, which I'll talk about a little bit later. So who's eligible? So Rainbow Council's contingent, and actually all of National, any scout that is in between the ages of 12 and 20, as of the first day of the Jamboree, so as of July 22nd, 2026, if you are between the ages of 12 and 20, you are eligible to attend as a youth participant. If you happen to be 21 and older, we have opportunities for you to be in our contingent leadership or as part of our national staff. So if you happen to be over 21 or over, we can make sure you get to go in a different role, but to be part of our contingent as a youth participant between the ages of 12 and 20. So even though you might think 10 right, 11 right now, 10 and a half, just think of where you will be in July of 2026. If you are 12, you'll get to go. So our goal is to send and have 60 plus scouts attend. That is what we are budgeting for. That's what we are hoping. That's a little bit smaller than our 2023 contingent. In 2023, we sent over 80 scouts. So we're being a little more conservative on our goal, but we hope that we can even blow that number out of the water. We have numbers and calculations that we want to send 160 scouts. So we've kind of thought through all those things and what it would be. But right now our goal is to have 60 scouts from the council and nearby councils join us and head off to the summit. Cost. There is a cost associated with the Jamboree. So we are currently estimating to attend, it is $2,700. It is a high number. It is an expensive trip. But where does that money go? So at a very high level, here are some of the key ones that it covers. The largest factor is the cost from National to attend the Jamboree, to be on the property. This is before any possibilities of scholarships, which we'll talk about in a few months. When they become available, there's an opportunity for some scholarships. But the fee to attend the Jamboree is $1,560. That's the fee set by National. We're estimating our travel is going to be $500, which will include travel both directions, as well as some food along the way. Pre and or post event. We'll discuss this in detail a little bit more later, but we're estimating about $200 for that. You'll get a neckerchief and patches for a uniform. This year, we are not going to include a purchase of a new uniform. We will make it uniforms available to purchase if you want a fresh, shiny, new, spiffy uniform for the Jamboree trip, but we are not including that this year. We are just going to make sure you have the contingent patches to put on your uniform. 3 activity shirts. These are also known as Class Bs, and a hat. 3 trading patch sets. We will go over those a little bit more detail what those are, but it's probably one of the #1 activities at the Jamboree is patch trading. That includes a fee for 2 shakedown campouts for food and logistics, for us to hold 2 campouts where the troops can get to know one another, the contingent can get to know one another. They can choose their SPL and other important roles, and those will happen throughout the 18 months. You will also get a contingent duffel bag and day bag. So these are bags that will be embroidered with our participants' names. possibly have our logo, our council logo on it. But it also allows us to have logistics work pretty smoothly with everyone having a similar bag. Um, it helps a whole lot for the travel. It also allows us to make sure scouts aren't over and underpacking, as well as the day bag obviously helps them on site to have all the things they need on them throughout the week. It also covers some additional logistical costs. A tent. We are responsible for bringing tents, and we will be purchasing new tents for the Jamboree. Some other miscellaneous costs that are involved, some troop flags and a few other things. Also, we have built in a contingency, which we hope to be able to refund to everybody at the end of the Jamboree if we do our job right and don't have to use it. If I will be eventually posting the full budget on the council's websites. I'm going to get that up there so everybody can see where we are looking at all the funds to go and how we came up with the number. I also have I'll have a dedicated meeting just to go over the details of the costs as we get going a little bit further down the road. What is the Jamboree like? So that is probably one of the most important things. And I asked a very trusted scout. She happens to live upstairs, and she went to the last Jamboree. I asked her to put a little video together to kind of give us a little bit of what the Jamboree is like. So I hope this gives you a little taste of what to expect. If you have a speaker, oh, well, you're hearing me. So we are going to play a little music, so I apologize if it's a little loud, but this is just a little snippet of what the Jamboree is like. I live my day the last. Live my day as if there was no past. Doing it all night all summer. Doing it the way I wanna. I'm taking my heart out till the dawn, but I won't be done when morning comes. Doing it all night all summer. Gonna spend it like no other. It was a crush, but I couldn't get enough. It was a rush, but I gave it up. It was a crush. Now I might have said too much, but that's all it was. So I gave it up. I live my day as if it was the last. Live my day as if it was no past. Doing it all night all summer. Doing it the way I wanna. I'm taking the heart to the dawn, but I won't be done when morning comes. Doing it all night all summer. Gonna spend it like no other. It was a crush. I kept saying I'm staying in touch. That thing went by. So hopefully that little snippet got a little interest and some excitement going of just a few things that are out at the summit. Every Jamboree isn't the same, so we fully expect some new and exciting things this time around. We do already know, we already have announcements from the National Jamboree that we are going to have a center stage. We are going to have a center expo. We are going to have performances in the center of the summit. That is returning. It wasn't there in 23. It was there in 17. There's some awesome videos out there on the internet of what that was like in 17. And we'll share some of those as we get going with our meetings in the near future. We also have just hundreds and hundreds of photos from the people who participated in 23 that have shared. And we have those out on our council Instagram page and other places as well. So if you want to like dig in a little bit just to see what the youth did out there, there's shooting, there is rock climbing, there's rappelling, there are merit badges, there's an eco building, there is laser shooting, they are looking to bring back the pools and scuba. There is also BMX biking, skateboarding. Really think about the Jamboree as an opportunity to do some of the things that a lot of different summer camps around the nation have done in their programs, but this is all at one spot. They brought everything together and they made it bigger and better and more amazing. So I'll answer some more questions a little bit later on what to look forward to. I don't want to play the video a second time. We can do that later. We can go dancing. So what's the timeline like? So right now we are in the process of putting our troop together. We are getting people excited and interested in going. As we get started, we are looking to have our first troop meeting in late February. We are hopefully then going to meet on the even months, throughout 2025. So approximately every 2 months, we will all get together and have a troop meeting. That'll help our scouts get to know each other, start functioning as a troop. Also, it gives us an opportunity as adults to go through some of the logistical and um, things to make this happen. So some committee reports. We're looking for volunteers to help with different aspects, so such as fundraising, or as our swag coordinators or patch coordinators. Will give us an opportunity as adults to get together and get some updates and announcements. Once we get closer to 2026, we will then start to meet once a month, because then we are down to under 6, 7 months until we leave for the Jambo. We're going to want to definitely get a few more things down, locked down. We'll have some team building. We'll have some opportunities for people to select who they're going to tent with, uh, and trade swag and get swag all set up and get ready and excited to go. We will have 2 shakedown campouts. We are targeting one in the fall of 2025. We don't have an exact date yet. And then a second one in the spring of 2026. These campdowns are going to be important because while we're at the Jamboree, youth and the youth leaders have to cook their own meals. We have to set up canopies. We have to set up tents. So we're going to be working on some of those skills. We know a lot of you have those skills from your time in your troops and your scouting activities so far, but you haven't done it with this group. So we want to make sure we get that together. We're going to go over things like how to be a quartermaster, which is more than just getting stuff out of a trailer at the Jambo. It means going off and getting the food. It means working with the Jamboree staff. We will be setting up some medical first aid type things to make sure if you kind of get, know what heat exhaustion looks like, what to do if you get a sprain or an insect, a bee or an insect bites while we're out there. We're going to go over all those things and make sure everybody stays safe, hydrated, and ready to roll at the Jamboree. So that's what we're going to do on those shakedown campouts and those meetings. We are going to be doing some individual level and contingent level fundraising. We are going out and we are soliciting donations. We have a couple already confirmed. That's going to be helping with the tent costs, as well as reducing some other costs like on our travel. But we're going to have some opportunities for y'all to do some fundraising to lower your costs to get to the Jamboree or to purchase additional swag that will come from Rainbow Council as well as from National. You're going to have an opportunity to buy a lot of different cool swag. The troop and contingent will eventually pick a theme. We will pick our Rainbow Council theme, design a logo, a shirt, and as well as our patch set. And we'll show in a moment how important that patch set is. But that will be just a few of the activities we will be doing over that timeline. A lot of it's going to happen in 2025 because our patch set is going to be part of our fundraising. We are going to be selling special edition versions of our patches to help offset some of our costs for the Jamboree. We have a few other optional items and things that we can do. A lot of it will depend on how well we do with our fundraising or what everybody wants to do. And that will be like attending different events or getting something very unique to be part of our contingent. Payments. So what we have done is we have kind of come up with a payment strategy to help minimize the impact to each family each month. But also put Rainbow Council in a position that they are not diving into their funds that are needed for other programs to cover required costs of National, our travel, and other vendors along this 18-month. We have set things up so we can make sure we have money coming in from both our fundraisers and our participant fees to offset milestone dates that we have to account for. So what we have really come up to is a monthly payment of $175. And that is after the initial deposit of $350 and any catch-up payments to get to our monthly increments. I can go into that to a lot more detail for those that are interested. And we're going to have a payment schedule up on the website as well in about 2 weeks. The person running the website's unavailable for the next week, so most of the stuff has to get up when she returns. So we're going to get all that information up on the website so everyone can see what's going on there. Let's see what's next. Oh, patches. So patches. Patches are a really important part of the Jamboree. It is one of the number one downtime activities, and it is some for some scouts, it is their primary activity. Patch sets range from a single patch to elaborate patch sets. What's on the screen right now is the special edition patch sets that Rainbow Council had last Jamboree. This was our scouting things. It was a 7-piece patch set. And it was probably, arguably, I think, the most popular patch set out there. It's a debate between if it was this or the Waffle House patch sets. But pretty much every council and every contingent has their own unique patch sets. And it's one of the hottest things to do out there is to trade these patch sets one for one, trade other swag that's related to your patch sets. But to give you an idea of what we mean, this patch, I'm going to share a different screen. Let me click around here a bit and show a different screen. I'm going to show a picture of eBay. If I can get it up, if I didn't close it. Oh man, did I close it? No, I didn't. Why is it not letting me share? Hold on. Please hang tight. Well, I'm going to show my entire screen for a moment. So, it's not letting me do this one. Let's go here. So, and on eBay. Come on. Our patch set right now is being sold on eBay for $330. So the demand for these patch sets are pretty wild. To give you a little idea what some of these other patch sets look like, here we go. This one's going for $450. So patch sets don't really cost that much, but just to give you an idea that these patch sets are a big deal. It's a lot of fun. People have a good time trading them. But it's all good. And our sets don't cost anywhere near that to purchase a patch set for trade. But there's a lot of fun. An upcoming meeting, we will have the scouts bring patch sets to show them off. It's really cool to see them up in person and see what it's all about. And we'll have some real good opportunities there. So let me flip back to my other one. Pop, pop, pop. Go here, go there, go everywhere. We want to go back here. I talk to myself when I click. I apologize. So earlier I was mentioning a pre and post events. So in years past, Rainbow Council has stopped at various places along the way to the Jamboree. For the last 4 that have been at the summits, we have stopped at the Ace High Adventure Base, which is about 30 minutes or so away from the summit. It's in the same gorge mountain region that the summit is. And this high adventure area is filled with water activities and an opportunity for the scouts to go whitewater rafting separate from the Jamboree. This is something we will decide on after we have our troop together. But I just wanted to highlight that this is an opportunity that is really exciting for a lot of scouts, and we do have a portion of the budget allocated for that. But once we decide what they want to do, we'll get the actual cost, and we'll see. We have to go up, down in that cost estimate, but we're starting at a pretty good number based on previous experiences. So we're hoping not to swing too far off that original $2,700 number. So I will show at the end, I will bring up our Rainbow Council website and show you where you can get a whole slew of more details about what we're doing with the Jambo and our plans. Oh, and then I'm going to open up for questions. So before we do that, I will actually show the Rainbow site and show you where you can get some more details. This is right at our Rainbow Council website. So if you come on over to Rainbow Council, I'm going to make this a normal size for you. Sorry. Come on. There. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Oh, well. I apologize. This is really wonky on the screen, really wide. My computer is spread it out to my whole screen. So on our Rainbow Council site, you can go up and under events and please move, and then pick our Jamboree. This will take you to our page where we're going to be posting a lot of the information once we have it available. So this is a video put out by National of what the Jamboree is looking forward to. I highly recommend you take a look. But the big informational one is our full informational packet. So in here, it's about a 15-page document that gets into a lot of the details of what we are doing. I am not going to spend our time going through all of these things. I highly recommend you take an opportunity to take a look at that offline and then send me any questions or any concerns about it. So I'm going to stop that share and I'm going to turn it over to you all. I am very excited to hear what questions we've got that I can answer, and it might stir up another thought that I can share with everybody. So I am sure there are questions out there. Who has one, and what would you like to ask? And remember, there really are no bad questions. There are often bad answers, but I'll do my very best to limit those. So who's got a question? No one?
When will we be selling what for the fundraiser?
Once we pick one. So once we get our troop together and we see what everybody's interested, we will start looking at what fundraisers are available. We have a few to pick from. I mean, we can come up with something new. So opportunities are out there to sell pretzels, soft pretzels. There's opportunities to sell beef sticks. We have opportunities to really get into our popcorn sales for the council and working with ways that we can do maybe a contingent level popcorn sale. Christmas trees have been thrown around as an opportunity to sell. So a lot of different opportunities, but we will decide on those as a troop once we have everybody together. But I mean, we could sell pens. Yeah, if you everybody don't know, Chris over here is a pen maker, and I do it too. So we can make a bunch of pens. We'll sell pens, Chris. All right, who's got another question? Anything's fair game. Nothing? Nothing's tickling your eyes? No thoughts? Man, I was really hoping for a whole half hour, almost an hour's worth of questions. But you know, the Jamboree is a lot of fun. So being out there as an adult, I don't get to have as much fun because I'm busy trying to make sure it's fun for y'all. So between the mountains, being beautiful scenery, and waking up every morning to see those mountains and hills, it is pretty cool. The food's pretty good. Um, they are telling us they're going to improve lunch. So Chris is kind of like, yeah, lunch was. We are being told they're going to improve lunch. We're going to have better lunch this time. They're fixing some of the problems from 23. So dinners were really good. There's opportunities to purchase extra food. Last time there was a Chick-fil-A, there was a burger stand, there was pizza. So a lot of your favorites are out there to add on to your food. So you're not going to go hungry. Plenty of water. There's water everywhere, and it's good water. It's actually better than RSR water. So if you've had the water at RSR, the water at the Jamboree is actually better. It's really good. So you're not going to go thirsty out there. Any, have I? I'm sorry.
One question, it's spring phones.
Okay. Sorry, can you ask that question again? I didn't hear it. Nope. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else can I tell you? Um, let's see. The bashes are supposed to be back. So those were little party atmospheres that you saw. Those are night bashes near the base camps. So it's an opportunity for some bands to come in and play. We are also going to have the drone show again. We know the drones are coming back, along with some other significant displays and vendors are going to be coming out to show us some of their cool stuff. So one of the things that was out there last time, our fantastic military came out with some of their amazing vehicles that allowed the scouts to go check out tanks, as well as some of the other vehicles that they use. The medevac was able to show off what it was able to do. So we had the medevac out there and people were able to check that out. We are also looking to have opportunities to meet some of our celebrity scouts, for the lack of a better term. Um, Anybody who doesn't know who follows football right now, former Chicago Bear David Montgomery is an ambassador for scouting right now. And there is an above average possibility that he may come out to the Jamboree, and we have an opportunity to meet him, and hopefully he is going to be wearing a Super Bowl ring, because I really like to see Detroit win it this year, and it'd be kind of cool, both for scouting and for the fact that David Montgomery is a pretty amazing story when you get to know him. Darby, sorry I missed that. What was it? Oh, there it is.
I'm on the pool, so I didn't want to come up and be so you don't hear me screaming at my swimmers.
Oh, good.
But I know, like, one of the things when Alex went last time that kind of surprised us was how much spending money they should bring and the form should bring it in.
No problem. Yeah. So last year we estimated, that all scouts, well, they should be prepared to spend what you allow them to spend, because if you give it to them, they're going to spend it. We estimate about anywhere between $150 to $200. That helps them find some opportunity swag that's sold only at the Jamboree at the store, as well as some additional food, some additional other keepsakes that will be available out there. As for the form, the one thing we don't recommend is cash, believe it or not, because if cash is lost, cash is hard to find. Being the person who was in charge of lost and found, I can't tell you the number of people who lost cash that I couldn't return, but I can tell you we did return over $1,000 to people. We were able to find some wallets and some envelopes and get them back to the rightful owner. So we did try really, really hard to return things as they were lost. But the Jamboree is also going to be fully digital. You'll be able to use tap payments and debit card payments as well. They were almost 80% tap ready last year, and we're told that this time around they're going to be fully tap ready. So you'll be able to use your phone, your watch, as well as cards that are tappable. The green light debit card worked very well for a lot of scouts, because it allowed parents to set limits or add money um, uh, throughout the week. So that's what we're estimating.
Quick question. Can the kids bring phones?
Absolutely. The Jamboree is fully digital. It is a totally
Sorry,
digital experience.
I lost connection in half of it, and then it took me a while to get back on.
Oh, no. All good. That's actually a good question. No one asked it before. The Jamboree is fully digital, actually. Their schedule, the maps, our communication methods are all via the Jamboree app. AT&T, I believe, is still going to be the vendor. They provide free Wi-Fi, so they have a higher quality Wi-Fi connection out there, as well as AT&T cellular signal. I personally am a Verizon customer, and I had no problem using my Verizon signal as well. So this location is highly connected, and it very recommended for scouts to have a device.
All right, cool. Because my son, he actually uses Wi-Fi phone calls, so I'll be perfect.
Perfect. Yep. We will say we're going to encourage kids not to call home, just to have fun. But we all know, they touch base, and they'll still call when they want to, or mom and dad want to get hold of them. As we get closer, as the lost and found lead, I learned a lot in 23 on how to help people keep their stuff and not lose their stuff. And we'll give tips. I can tell you some of the ways I helped people get their phones back. I was a little sleuthy. I had to do some interesting things. I didn't hack anybody's phone, but I did use what they let me have access to find out who belonged to phones. So it was kind of fun. It was kind of cool. I was like, hey, that's gonna work. But yes, phones, battery packs. We'll talk as we get closer what we recommend for battery power to charge while you're out there, and those sorts of things. Very familiar what we're gonna be able to do. What's up, dude? Let's see. Yeah, the lock screen being a true patch is a good idea. That is a very good idea, but also with a lot of the newer phones, you can have multiple lock screens that we can swipe through pretty quickly. Yep, right there. There we go. There's one right there. That is one of the best ways that I can make sure you get your phone back, is so I know what troop number you got. So we'll go all over those fancy details as we get closer. What other questions we got?
I have a quick question.
Sure.
What about if you have a scout who has medications? Do you know how that is handled down there? And if some of them are refrigerated, how that works?
Yeah. So we do have the ability to partner with our medical units down there for refrigerated medicines. So they will have a procedure where those refrigerated ones will be at one of two locations
Okay.
and then being able to be administered. Um, Basically anything non-narcotic that doesn't have to be
Hmm.
registered, we will be working with the scouts and our adult leaders that will be going with them to keep
Okay.
those protected and safe. Things that are regulated, they have procedures as well to make sure they stay safe as well. So we have full procedures on how to handle that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. I myself will be on a probably be on a medicated, refrigerated medication while I'm out there because I'm on one now. I don't see that changing by the time Jamboree gets here, so I will be very familiar with the process by the time we get there. Oh, it also doesn't hurt that one of the Rainbow Council people is uh, tied to the medical wing of the Jamboree. We have a bunch of I guess it's fair to say I should share that. Rainbow Council, some of our adult volunteers for the national. We have the chief, the fire chief, and the emergency person is Mike Casagrande. He is actually he is like top dog when it comes to risk management and fire. We have people who are in the EMT. We have 3 people who are in the safety and security tier. We have about 3 or 4 people who are in the administration tier. We have a lot of our local awesome Rainbow folks that are going to be out there. So we're going to be able to rock it. So all good. All good. All right. What other questions we got? I'm having fun. I hope you guys are having fun. Hope you're just getting a little bit more excited about going. One of the things I can tell you, because I've seen a few people, and I see one right now on camera, and I saw a couple of other sneak in, uniforms. You will wear your uniform on the travel out there. You will wear your uniform on Scout Sunday, or on the Sunday when we do the opportunity to go to, I believe, if I remember correctly, they had over 16 denominational services throughout the summit. So you'll have the opportunity to partake in the religious service of your choice on the Sunday. We'll wear uniforms that day. And we are going to be wearing them 2 other times on our trip back and for one large event that's going to be held during the week. The rest of the time, you're going to be in nice, comfortable Class B activity shirts and various other forms of scouting stuff that you want to bring. So you won't be out there in the West Virginia sun in your uniform the whole time. I enjoy my uniform, but 90-degree weather, I'd rather be something a little more comfortable. All right. Awesome, awesome. I always love video cam sessions. What else we got? Any other questions? Any other thoughts? Let's see, I saw one here. All right, the process for picking adults. So what we are doing for our adult selection process is we have a form up available. You can get to it off the Rainbow Council site. It's basically a really basic questionnaire of what your scouting experience is right now. We do have some specific guidelines that we have to follow that come from national on adults, registered adult leaders to be part of the contingent. The way it works is for every 20 scouts that we commit to, we get to send two adult leaders to go. So if we send 40, that's 4 adults. If we send 60, it'll be 6. We do have to follow YPT criterias because we will be looking at sending a girls contingent. So we will have 1 female leader. What we are going to be doing is I am going to be working with the key 3 of the council to go over all those that were interested. Most likely bring those folks in for an interview or do it over Zoom or phone, and really just kind of make sure we have the right fit for the troops that are going, the contingents for the contingent as a whole, with a mix and match of experience, eagerness, as well as youth attending. So we're going to be doing that. As of right now, I have more adults than we have slots. So it's a great second question there on how you can volunteer for national. So on the National Jamboree site lists some of the high level positions and jobs that are available to volunteer. They've reduced the cost this year. It is approximately $1,000 to go as a adult volunteer for the 2 weeks. You have an opportunity also just to go during the setup week and then for the participation week. So there's a bunch of different options to go. And I believe the number was approximately we need somewhere about 5,000 adult volunteers to make the Jamboree. The more volunteers we've got, the more activities we can put on for the kids. So if someone is not selected to be part of our contingent adult lead, we very much will be sitting down with those folks and encouraging them to join up as part of the national staff and still come out to the Jambo. We already know that we are being promised to have at least 1 to 2 days of downtime so we can go enjoy the Jamboree ourselves instead of it's not just work, work, work all the time. As well as I know for like my department, I specifically structured so those folks can go spend time with their councils or their troops or their kids because I know I want to. My child was out there last time and is probably going to be out there this time. And I wanted to go spend time with her and her friends, at least a little bit. I wanted to embarrass them at the Jamboree, or buy them an ice cream or a Coke or something. We'll work with y'all to make sure if you want to be there, you'll be able to go. There will also be opportunities for parents to get out there as guests. I know a 10-hour drive to West Virginia probably isn't high on your list of summer activities just to go out for a day, but that will be an option as well to go out there with a visitor pass for various numbers of days, an opportunity to go check out this amazing place with the summit. Awesome, awesome. All right, we're at 7:46, so I'll give it a few more minutes for any more questions. I am going to have some more information available on February 2nd, but it'll be a lot of it's going to be the same that we just covered tonight. So don't be surprised if it's a lot of repetitive information if you join us again on February 2nd. But as we lead up to the Jamboree, or as we get ready for this first meeting, and you still have any questions, be it cost, be it what you're going to do, how we'll get there, what it's going to be like once we're there, absolutely send me a message. If you're asking that question, somebody else is probably asking that question. So it's kind of how this works. So anyone else have any other questions before we wrap up for tonight? I've got one. What are we doing to this poor unicorn? What happened? Oh my goodness. A little stuffing came out. Something happened.
Stiff, so we had to take out all the stuffing so we can restuff it.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I think there's a merit badge for that. Maybe I think there's a sewing merit badge.
Patch trading is more entertaining than you think.
It very much so is. Very much so is. So
I was not expecting to do any.
yeah,
I did a lot.
You did a lot. You did a lot. We'll definitely have entire sessions on what patch trading is about, what safety of patch trading, how to have fun patch trading, and how not to go too crazy patch trading. It's a fun activity out there. It really is. All right, awesome. Well, last round for questions for tonight. Else, zip them over to me, send them to me. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And if you want to join us on February 2nd, please do. But to wrap it up, head over to the Rainbow Council site. We will have on there our link to our registration site. If I've already convinced you to go, please sign up. We have it's up and ready. We also have our adult volunteer form, as well as our full packet of information as we know it as of today. So I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. I know we whipped this up yesterday, and I thank you all for pinging me and asking me and basically making me remember. I told everybody we're going to have a meeting on the 16th. I really wanted to do it in person, but it actually is kind of hard to get some space right now. There's a lot of organizations that are doing meetings. So we will find time to meet in person. We won't do all these via Zoom, but given it's cold it wasn't too bad to have to drive anywhere tonight. So I appreciate you all joining us. Excellent. Well, thanks everybody. I'm gonna end the recording and thank you all.